Hey there everyone, it's GG Silversun. I sure hope you can hear me over the wind. It's very quite windy, and that's about the only patch of blue sky that there is. And the only reason I'm out here is because the wind is out of the south-southwest and blowing that stuff at a very rapid rate out that way. Got a lot of electricity in the air, but Lord willing, everything will be okay. June 15th, in AA, we have three things: fellowship, faith, and service. Fellowship is wonderful, but its wonder lasts just so long. Then some gossip, disillusionment, and boredom may come in. Worry and fear come back at times, and we find that fellowship is not the whole story. Then we need faith. When we're alone, with nobody to pat us on the back, we must turn to God for help. Can I say, "Thy will be done," and mean it? Oof. Sometimes it is hard to say "thy will," but I think I have found, and have seen this in my own life, that when I'm up against something, and it's usually something big, and I'm really trying to make it happen because it seems to be logically the best way to go, and then all of a sudden I keep running up against problems and issues and difficulty. And that was what happened when I was preparing my family to leave England. I really wanted to stay overseas, but I had already been at that base for 2 extended long tours, so a total of almost 8 years by the time I started working my return. We sold our house early, which was supernatural because we sold it right before the bottom dropped out of the market, the real estate market. This was 2007. And, when we had the global real estate crash. And if we hadn't sold it when we did, we may have had a hard time selling it before we left without taking a major hit. We still made like 40,000 pounds on that sale, so that was awesome. But anyway, I was trying to, and I may have shared this before, but I apologize if I have shared it. I was trying to get an early return so that my kids could start during the school year with all the other kids, and I was trying to also arrange a special duty assignment so I could be within 3 hours of my sister. A 3-hour drive. And then everything just kept falling through. And I remember actually standing in the kitchen holding hands with my family and saying, "God, you know what we want. We want to be close to family. And we pray that you make that happen." And I think, and I basically said, I thought it was this way it was supposed to be done, but your will be done. So many things happened prior to that, right? But at any rate, my last assignment was we lived within a half an hour of my sister, as opposed to 3 hours. And my last assignment was in this area. So, but it really, I had to let go. I believe, obviously, God would have blessed my life either way, but it's almost like if I think what I want I sell myself short. If I always get what I want, I sell myself short. It's just like in the early days when they said, I had somebody say, hey, make a list of the things you want after, that after a year of sobriety you want to have. And even though I didn't actually make that list, it would have been a list of things, not blessings that I've received that I didn't know that I wanted or needed, that I wouldn't even have considered them blessings. That's why they say you'll have a life beyond your wildest dreams, because I never would have known that fellowship and camaraderie and all that stuff and having a purpose in life would have been as desirable as I've discovered they are. To have a host of friends, to see others get sober and then help others even more to get sober. To be able to talk about ideas, emotions, and attitudes in a group of people a group of like-minded people that are moving in a positive direction is priceless, like the stupid commercial says. It's priceless. And to think that sometimes I can get faked out by the disease of alcoholism, to think that I'll be okay without that fellowship is ridiculous. And I need opportunities like this, what I'm doing right here and right now, but obviously this isn't all that I do for recovery, but these opportunities to reflect on these things is super important, even if I don't get to meetings, especially if I don't get to meetings, because they just don't crop up. They don't come up in casual conversation very often. Meditation for the day. There is beauty in a God-guided life. There is wonder in the feeling of being led by God. Trying to realize God's bounty and goodness more and more. God is planning for you. Wonderful are His ways. They are beyond your knowledge. But God's leading will enter your consciousness more and more and bring you ever more peace and joy. Your life is being planned and blessed by God. You may count all material things as loss if they prevent you from winning your way to the consciousness of God's guidance. Oof. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would agree with all of that. It doesn't bring anything to mind, though, I'm afraid. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may earn the rewards of God's power and peace. I pray that I may develop the feeling of being led by God. I definitely agree with that second sentence. I don't know about earning anything. The really big book says all of our righteousness are like filthy rags. And I think I've heard, I've not done the study myself, but I've heard that filthy rags is like dirty, like maxi pads, right? Dirty women's cycle sanitary towels, as they say in England. So it's really graphic language to say that basically all your good deeds and righteousnesses, attempts at righteousness, it's like crap. It's like dung. So give it up. And what the concept is that when we're full of gratitude for what God has graciously done for us in terms of the blessings and salvation that we've received, we are, out of that gratitude comes an abundance of energy and drive and power to serve, to be of service to others. And love. Out of the abundance of the heart flows these things. And so it's best to just focus on our relationship with the God of our understanding, our own each individual understanding. I do believe there is only one God, but it's developing that relationship and not worrying about anything else but the relationship, then, you know, everything else falls into place. And you don't have to try to accept somebody else's concept. Take what you need, what gives you peace, joy, and the drive to do what needs to be done to be of service to others, and let the rest take care of itself. So thanks, y'all. Love you. Look up, aim up, rise up.